Imagine a woman, armed with nothing but a forged signature and a bold story, borrowing millions from the sharpest bankers of her era. She claimed to be the secret daughter of Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men alive, though she'd never met him. On the strength of his name, Cassie Chadwick built an empire of deceit that stunned a nation. This isn't fiction. It's the true story of a woman who proved that the most audacious lies are often the easiest to believe. Picture a bank president handing over hundreds of thousands based on her word alone, because she seemed to have the ultimate collateral, Carnegie's fortune. Cassie didn't just tell a lie, she lived it, wrapping herself in the illusion of immense wealth until everyone around her believed it too. She understood a simple truth: people see what they want to see, especially in the Gilded Age, when everyone craved wealth and power. Her con was breathtaking. Millions in early 1900s dollars, all without violence, just charm and forged documents. She turned the awe for Carnegie into her personal line of credit. Would you have questioned her? Or would you, like so many, get swept up in the fantasy? This is the story of how one woman's lie brought financial titans to their knees. Before she was Cassie Chadwick, she was Elizabeth Bigley, born in rural Ontario in 1857. Nothing in her modest upbringing hinted at her future infamy, but even as a child, she longed for a life of glamour. At 14, she forged her first check, caught but escaping punishment by feigning insanity. This taught her a crucial lesson. People believe a convincing act, especially if it's dramatic. She moved to Cleveland, reinventing herself as Lydia Scott, a fortune teller who amazed wealthy clients with psychic predictions. Each con sharpened her skills. She learned to read people, reflect their ambitions, and manipulate their trust. Her schemes escalated. She married Dr. Wallace Springsteen, forged loans in his name, and when caught, again played the troubled woman for leniency. After release, she shed her old identity and moved on, always ready to become someone new. Each reinvention brought her closer to her greatest creation, Cassie Chadwick, a woman of mystery and supposed hidden wealth. She understood that reality is whatever you can make others believe. With every deception, she grew bolder, setting the stage for her most audacious con. The seeds of Cassie Chadwick were planted in the fertile ground of ambition and imagination. Now, she was ready to step onto a much bigger stage. Returning to Cleveland, Elizabeth Bigley became Cassie L. Hoover and married Dr. Leroy Chadwick, a respected widower. Instantly, she gained entry into high society. Her new name carried weight and respect. Cassie cultivated an air of mystery, hinting at a fortune greater than her husband's and powerful connections in New York. She never gave details, letting curiosity and gossip build her legend. She dressed in the latest fashions, filled her millionaire's row mansion with luxury, and hosted extravagant parties. Her generosity, lavish gifts, opulent events, convinced everyone she was truly wealthy. Every dollar spent was an investment in her credibility. Before approaching banks, she needed her social circle to believe in her fortune. By marrying Dr. Chadwick and dazzling Cleveland society, she created a network of unwitting supporters. Their belief became her social collateral. Cassie Chadwick was now a name everyone trusted, and she was ready for her masterstroke. The stage was set for her greatest deception. The world was about to meet Carnegie's secret daughter. Cassie's ultimate con was claiming to be Andrew Carnegie's illegitimate daughter. To sell the story, she staged a visit to Carnegie's mansion, emerging with a forged promissory note from Carnegie himself. Her companion, a banker's son, witnessed the scene, never realizing it was all theater. The story spread Cassie Chadwick, secret heir to the Carnegie fortune. She swore associates to secrecy, adding intrigue and credibility. Armed with forged notes, she approached bankers, showing proof of her future inheritance. She explained she couldn't cash the notes until Carnegie's death, but they were collateral for massive loans. Bankers, dazzled by the prospect of Carnegie's wealth, handed over hundreds of thousands at a time. Charles Beckwith, president of Citizens National Bank, lent her a fortune, nearly bankrupting his institution. Cassie's confidence made bankers feel they were part of an exclusive secret. Her performance was flawless. Her story irresistible. Bank after bank fell for her tale. The illusion of limitless wealth was her greatest weapon. The con was in full swing. With millions pouring in, Cassie lived extravagantly. Hundreds of designer dresses, thousands of gloves, and jewelry worth a fortune. Her Euclid Avenue mansion became a palace, filled with imported marble, priceless art, and even a massive pipe organ. She hosted legendary parties, showering guests with lavish gifts. Her generosity reinforced the illusion of endless wealth. Cassie owned multiple properties and spoiled friends and staff alike. Her spending was a calculated defense. No one questioned the source of her fortune. To pay one loan, she'd take out another, juggling debts with dazzling confidence. For nearly 8 years, she kept the illusion alive, financed by the very banks meant to guard against fraud. The spectacle blinded everyone to the truth. It was all built on lies. Cassie's debts ballooned, millions owed to banks and lenders. The interest alone was crushing, and she scrambled for ever larger loans to stay afloat. Some bankers grew nervous, demanding repayment. Cassie responded with elaborate excuses and pleas for more time. Her behavior became erratic, the strain of her lies showing. Managing dozens of loans and stories was a full-time job, and the web of deceit grew impossibly complex. Whispers spread. Why would Carnegie's daughter need so many loans? The logic of her story began to unravel. The house of cards trembled, and it would only take one determined push to bring it down. The end was near. By autumn 1904, Cassie was out of options in Ohio. She turned to Boston, targeting financier Herbert Newton for one final massive loan. Arriving with lawyers and forged notes, she asked for nearly $200,000, offering a trunk of securities as collateral. Newton, intrigued but cautious, agreed. Yet something felt off. Why would Carnegie's daughter need so many promissory notes? Why borrow from a small broker? Newton's skepticism grew. After granting the loan, he decided to investigate. He filed a lawsuit to recover his money, forcing Cassie's secrets into the open. This legal move set off a chain reaction. Cassie's final gamble had failed. The truth was about to explode. Newton's lawsuit unraveled Cassie's entire scheme. Newspapers seized the story. A woman claiming to be Carnegie's daughter sued over a massive loan. The news reached Carnegie, who issued a public, unequivocal denial. He'd never heard of Cassie Chadwick. With that, her 8-year con collapsed overnight. Panic swept the banks. Citizens National Bank went bankrupt, its president driven to ruin. Cassie was arrested and brought to trial, a national sensation. She maintained her story, but the evidence was overwhelming. In March 1905, she was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison. The performance was over. The curtain fell on one of America's most elaborate cons. Cassie Chadwick died in prison just 2 years into her sentence, still clinging to her invented persona. Her legacy is not wealth, but infamy, a cautionary tale about greed and gullibility. Why did so many fall for her con? Because they wanted to believe. Cassie offered a golden opportunity, and ambition blinded her victims to the truth. Her story reminds us, we're all vulnerable to deception, especially when it confirms what we want to be true. The appearance of wealth can be more powerful than wealth itself. Cassie built a fantasy, and people paid millions to be part of it. Her tale is a timeless warning. Look past the surface, ask hard questions, and beware the most convincing lies. What would you have done? Would you have questioned her? Or been swept up in the fantasy? If you find these stories fascinating, subscribe for more explorations into the complexities of human behavior.